In this video, we're going to be taking a look at column charts in Google Sheets. I think that these are one of the most commonly used charts, and so I really want to show you guys some of the options that you have and some of the flexibility. So you can see here, I just have a bunch of data. I have a date, and I have 3 columns of money. And what we're going to do is just grab all this data, and we're going to insert a chart. And we're not really going to worry about what it gives us to begin with. I'm just going to move this over so we can see everything. So you can see here it's given us 3 line charts, and I already said that this video is not about line charts, it's about column charts. So we're going to go over on the right hand side where you can see all these options, and this is going to let us manipulate all the data and the charts. So once we have our chart created, all we have to do is change some of the options. So the first thing we're going to do is make this a column chart as discussed. So instead of customize, we're going to use the setup menu, and we're going to go to chart type at the top, and we're going to click line chart, and we're going to head over and look at all the options. So the first thing to notice, and we want to use a column chart. A lot of people call this a bar chart, but it's actually not. The bar chart is actually facing a different direction, and I don't think that bar charts are actually used that often. Usually you're going to use a column chart. It's actually an easier way for your eyes to see the data. And so unless you have a specific reason to use the bar chart, I would probably stick to the column chart. I think people are going to enjoy that. So we have 3 options, and I want to show you all of them and just talk a little bit about why you'd maybe use one versus the other. So the first is just a standard column chart. So you can see that the data all comes in next to each other. So there's 3 columns and they're laid out next to each other. And you know, this data that we have actually is a good example of showing a chart that's just way too busy. This probably isn't the best way to show your data. You know, it's really hard to see the trend. What's the point? You know, it looks like red is often more, but maybe yellow is. You can't even tell. So, you know, in this situation, this is almost certainly not the chart that we actually want to be using. And what is going to clean this up is actually by switching it to a stacked chart. And for this type of data, which is just a date with 3 money, that's actually probably what we want to do. We want to be able to show which days we made the most money on, and we need to aggregate that. And a stacked column chart does that. It adds each bar on top of each other. And so you can see we've just reduced the amount of lines. It's cleaned this chart up substantially. And we can see some trends starting to emerge. So, you know, we can see the low days. You know, there's 3 days that were very poor in sales, and we can see the best days too. And so, you know, if we knew the story behind the data, we maybe would understand why this particular day was such a good day in sales. Perhaps there was a sale on, or, you know, there's some extra marketing. We can also, you know, try to determine why these days were so poor. Maybe there's something we can do about it, or maybe it was a holiday. And so we start to really get a good picture of it. And that's really what, you know, picking the right chart is so important. It really teaches people. It's the point of making a chart, is to teach people what you're trying to show them. You're trying to do it simply, and you're trying to show it visually. You're representing your data. And so I want to look at the third one. This actually shouldn't be used too often. There's not that many times where the 100% stacked column chart, which is the third option, is even that relevant. The problem is it skews data. And I mean, I'm going to show it to you. So basically what it does is it forces each line to equal 100%, and then makes each of the data points a percent of that. And so you can see, you know, this first line here is actually corresponding to the data in my first row up here. And you can see that the $4 isn't really represented. You can't even see it. And the 350 is about a third of the column, and the 613 is the rest. And so, you know, it is showing us that, you know, it looks like yellow is probably the most money and blue is probably the least, although a little bit hard to tell. But the problem is we don't know, because it's a percentage, we actually don't know the magnitude. So we no longer know that relationship of which days were good and which days were bad. We literally just can't see it. And so typically this isn't going to be the type of chart you use. There are specific circumstances where it is actually the optimal chart, because it does show certain relationships very well. But in this case, there's no question that we're going to want to go back to the stacked column chart. So I think when you're, getting your data, and if you're just getting familiar with different charts, a good thing to do is just go and click them all and just think, does this show what I'm trying to show? Does this really represent my data, and does it show the relationship that I'm trying to have people understand? And I think that's a concept that's missed very often. I see it in the finance world a lot, where people just pick the wrong chart for the data and they overcomplicate it. They make it too pretty, or these things actually, they take away. What you're trying to do is make simple charts that highlight a relationship and really show people what your data actually means. You should just be able to look at it and say, oh, I see. I understand what the point of this chart is in the first place. So I don't think I'm going to get into all the options in the video. I mean, this was really just to talk about the 3 different column charts. And, obviously in other videos, make sure you subscribe for those, of course. It really helps the channel and I appreciate it. But we can talk about some of the customization and, some of the ways that you can really make your data pop. There's various manipulations in terms of colors, sizing, fonts, labeling, all that kind of thing. There's a lot that we can really do to really make this an interesting chart. But I'm going to leave it there for now, and we'll deal with that in future videos.